Well, when you first go the first time, you're like very overwhelmed because you don't really expect that many people all in like one space, and there's so many colors and rainbows and all sorts of different people, but everyone there is just like really welcoming and happy, and it's just like a really good safe space for everyone that goes there. And it's just a nice change of scenery because like everyone there is like proud of who they are, and they're proud of who you are, which is very different from everyday life.
What do you mean by that?
Well, like a lot of people, like not so much in the Boulder area, but just like in general, they don't really appreciate that kind of stuff. There's still a lot of people that are very anti-gay, anti-transsexual, anti-bisexual, all of those. And the world is just kind of full of hate. There's always hate crimes going on and stuff like that. So.
I heard that the shooting, the massacre, had happened in Orlando. I will admit that I breathed a sigh of relief. I knew my friends were okay. But that relief quickly turned to grief as I started hearing the numbers, the death toll. It kept increasing. People were looking for their families and their friends. I knew that I had friends all across this country, and that Pulse could be Colorado, could be Trax, could be Hamburger Mary's, could be all of those places that we love. It struck me pretty hard, as it did a lot of you. It's interesting to feel relief for your friends, but so grieving those who were lost. I'm so blessed and honored that since Pulse, I've been able to spend time with the survivors, and I call many of them my friends. I wonder what life would be like without their lights. I pray for them. I pray for all of the survivors. And I pray for the victims every single day.
I mean, she's a politician, and that's what politicians do. I don't necessarily think it's the best strategy, but it's a strategy that works. And so, like, it's just what's gonna happen, I guess. You know, I don't really know what it has to do with, like, gay rights, I guess. He hasn't really said much about like being anti-gay and stuff like that. So I feel like it's just a lot of people going to Pride, they're just like incredibly liberal. So that plays a factor. I don't think it's necessarily something like attributing to the gay rights sort of like topic. I think it's more of they just don't like him overall. So, like, I expected going into this Pride for it to be like that, just because it always ends up being political, but I don't really think it has anything to do with, like, the whole point of Pride. There's a lot of people who have, like, openly said that they don't support, like, gay marriage and, like, especially since a lot of ADKI is Catholic, the Catholic Church, especially the one here in Boulder, because I've gone there quite often. They don't support it, so that's really hard. Like, I think maybe 2 people from ADKI overall like knew I even went to Pride, let alone like what I identify with. I feel kind of like you're living a double life, and it can be really sad sometimes and frustrating because it's like I just want to be who I am, but I can't because of the organization that I love. You know, like it's okay to be Christian and like gay, and it's okay to be Christian and support those things. But it just so happens that the organization that I love dearly, with that center of Christ, doesn't quite agree with me as a person in that way.